Hello, let's play a bunch of New York Times games, but first we reveal our dad joke of the day. Why did the student eat his homework? The teacher said it was a piece of cake. Yum, yum. All right. It doesn't stand up on its own very well anymore. Okay. Oh, I got a big list of people who have renewed for a new month. So thank you to Joe S, Double E, Pamalam 7, Knitting by Franco, 42 months as a super supporter, which is insane. Thank you so much. Gavin Sharp, Isaac Katabia, Jonathan Larson, Mr. Auckland Guy, Kyla Young, Vamos Cruceros, and VW Jet 2001. Thank you all so much. Your support really keeps this channel going. All right, well, let's do connections. We're finding 4 groups of 4. We've got bust, split, tree, trunk, relief, pigeon, stand, statue, cover, torso, substitute, core, misdirection, backup, bench, and hit. Substitute makes me think substitute teacher, but also substitute and relief are just synonyms, like the backup. Maybe the bench. Is there something better? Maybe cover. Like cover for me. But people on the bench can also. I don't think it's going to be bench, but I'm not convinced enough that I'm going to lock that in right now. We'll see what goes with what. So what would bust go with? Like you can bust like a police bust, right? DEA bust or whatever. A bust is like a statue from the waist up. What else? Starts with bus, so modes of transportation plus T. But I mean, I feel like bust and midsection are just the same thing. Maybe the trunk and the core. Oh, and the torso. So we kind of have 5 for that as well. We got to be really careful with this one then. It's probably not core. It's probably torso. Or maybe it's not trunk. It could be core, but we got to be careful. So what else haven't we looked at? How about pigeon? Pigeons like to be on... Pigeons do stand on statues, that's for sure. They also do other things to statues. Let's see. Pigeon. I am not sure what pigeon goes with. It's a bit strange. Starts with an animal. Animals that start with other animals. Pig. Pigeon. I don't even think we have 4 animals here. Let's look at something else. How about split? Split can be a gymnastics move. You can split something in half. A banana split. Not seeing any of that. How about tree? We haven't thought about tree yet. Tree. Numbers missing a letter. 3. I don't think we're that. Tree. The Giving Tree. Huh. Trunk we think might be in the midsection category. Relief might be a substitute. Pigeon we couldn't think about. I mean, I thought about pigeon. I couldn't think of anything. Stand. I don't think we've done anything with stand before. Like a music stand, like a stand that just holds something up. Stand as in the action to stand up. A law can stand, right? It's upheld. It stands. Or a ruling can stand. So continue might be a good way to put that. I'm just not seeing it. Statue. We haven't really thought about statue yet. Could it be a things that, like things that are erected, tree, or things that... I don't know if that really works. Maybe not that. Statue. I can't think what statue would go with. Because I don't think it goes with bust. I think bust goes with torso and midsection and either trunk or core or some combination of those five. So I really don't have anything I can try right now. What else haven't I thought of? Backup goes with substitute. Bench might go with substitute. How about hit? I haven't really, yeah, hit. I haven't categorized anything yet. Hit. Maybe could go with split. Like you split something, you hit it. So like to damage. It doesn't really seem to work though. What the heck does pigeon go with? Hit. Not much opportunity for wordplay with hit. The only thing I think of is we have a fill in the blank that's a bit obscure. And it feels like we got to figure those out because we got the yellow and the green that are most likely yellow and green. We've got the midsection category and the substitute category. They each have 5 that can go in there. So you could chase those one-aways forever. So we have to figure out the blue and the purple, but I'm having trouble. Pigeon. There's like pigeon English, like English that's been mixed with other languages, or just a pigeon language in general. Pigeon language? Not really. A split infinitive, to boldly go. Split can mean to leave. I'm going to split. I'm going to leave. I don't think anything else means that. So the ones I'm really not sure about, I think, are these 4. We also have tree. Also tree. So if I have 5 and 5, that's 10. I should have 6 that I'm not sure of. So what's the 6th? We've got tree. In addition to these 4, we've got tree. And we got stand. So tree and stand, statue, hit. These 6 should need to inform 2 more categories. So I can pull one out of the other 2. One each out of the other 2. Pigeon, statue, hit, split, tree, stand. I have no idea. Maybe it is banana. Maybe it is banana. Isn't there like, there's always money in the banana stand? A banana tree. Bananas don't grow on trees. But let's say it's banana. Banana split, banana stand, banana tree. Is there a banana... banana bust, banana trunk, banana relief, banana pigeon, banana statue, banana cover, banana torso, banana substitute, banana core, banana midsection, banana backup, banana bench, banana hit. Maybe not. So if these 3 were banana, that leaves the ones I'm not sure about, pigeon and trunk and hit, to go together, because I don't think any of these are banana. Also, banana tree? Do they call it a banana tree even though it's not a tree? I'm not sure. Pigeon, trunk, and hit. Pigeon, trunk, and hit. Trunk can be the trunk of a car, it can be a trunk of an elephant, it can be trunk of a tree. It could be your trunk. Oh no, it wasn't trunk that I wasn't sure of. Sorry, trunk could go with the midsection. What's the other one then? Bus, split, tree, trunk. It's stand. Pigeon, stand, and hit. Oof. No, I thought stand with banana. What is it? Statue, cover. Wait, cover is substitute. Torso, substitute. Core. I think core can be torso. Section, backup, bench. I should have 6 things I was unsure of. Was I including trunk when I shouldn't have? I may have to pull out my pen here just because I'm having trouble keeping track of all these. So let's pull out my pen. So yellow, I'm thinking, is these 5. Let's do substitute, bench, cover, relief, and backup. And then green, we've got bust, midsection, core, and trunk, and torso. So those are the 5 that I think go in green and the 5 that I think go in yellow. We got to pull one out, which means we need to figure out the blue and the purple. So if purple is blink banana, then I would think we'd need banana split, banana tree, and banana stand. So that leaves pigeon, statue, and hit. Okay. That makes it much more clear. Pigeon, statue, and hit. And it would have to be blue because we don't have another fill in the blank if we're doing blank or banana blank. But maybe it's not banana blank because I don't know what else would go with banana. But what would pigeon, statue, and hit go with? Well, as much as I don't like chasing one aways, I'm going to do what I think is the most likely for green and what I think is most likely for yellow and see if that helps. So, see if I get lucky. I think that I don't like bench in with yellow. So we're going to try these. Okay, that was correct. Replacement, that was actually green. Okay. And then I like bust and midsection and torso, and I don't like core. I think I want trunk. No, that's one away. So that was my worry. So we know this is one away. So core does go in with it. So one of these four goes with either banana blank, if that's a thing, or the other one. I wonder if bust is supposed to go with statue. So let's just run that theory since we have some mistakes to use and put core in instead of bust. Okay, abdominal area. So maybe we've got... Is banana bust a thing? Not that I can think of. So I would think we'd have bust going with statue and hit and pigeon for some reason. Let's see if that's true. No, that's not even one away. Okay. So 2 of these go in one category and 2 go in the other. Banana split, banana stand. I don't think it's banana anymore. These feel like things you might find in a park. Oh, things you might find in a park. A statue, a bench, a pigeon, and a tree. Let's try that. Park staples. There we go. Okay. I don't know where that came from, but I was actually thinking about bust and statue and going, oh, they could be in parks. And then I realized, wait, bust doesn't work as well as just putting pigeons in there. All right, stand, split, bust, and hit. If this isn't banana blank, then I don't know what it is. Oh. Blackjack terms. Okay, so bust is when you go over 21. Hit, hit me, give me another card. Split is when you get 2 of the same cards, so you split. And stand, I suppose, just means keep your bet. Let your bet stand. Okay. I wasn't going to make that connection, though, I don't think. Yeah, it had nothing to do with bananas. All right. Well, at least I got there. I had a little bit of luck involved, but I knew what these were. But I think the difficulty is high today because I think blue and purple are not all that easy to think of, and you have to get them in order to really pick apart yellow and green if you don't want to chase one away forever on both of those categories. So. Unless you get lucky like me. So I'm going to say that it is a 3 out of 5 difficulty, and I think we have a 60% solve rate. Let's see. All right, we got statues. Sounds good. 2.3. I think that's a bit low, but we'll see. 72% solve rate. Okay. So a bit higher than I expected. I think we're still going to see. Okay, my order is completely unique so far. Didn't expect it to be anything else. Of people who won, we've got 70% getting yellow first, 20% getting green first, and then we don't really get the blue and the purple. I'd actually kind of had expected there to be a much higher percentage of winning games getting purple or blue first, because it's so hard to split apart, like figure out which 4 of the 5 yellow and green are supposed to be. Second is evened out, but fewer people are getting the blackjack terms. Most people are getting yellow and then green. People are getting yellow and green and then failing on the blue purple. So 10% got yellow. Actually, 13% got yellow green. 5% got yellow. 3% got green. 5% got nothing. I think my theory of chasing one away isn't really working out too much because people are just not able to split blue and purple, it seems like, if they're losing. Putting bust in with these is something a lot of people did. putting bench in with this. So these are the two red herrings that I was worried about, is bench in with green, bust in with yellow. I think we're going to see a lot of that in the next page. And then people trying to split apart blue and purple. All right, so we've got yellow, we've got green, we've got bust with yellow in 3 different ways, and we've got bench with green. And then we've got purple correct. Then we've got blue correct. And then we've got some sort of rainbow, bust, relief, statue, and torso. Okay, these could technically all be words for some kind of statue. That might be the rainbow herring. All right. Do we have more of this? Yeah, more bust with yellow. Not as much with... Oh, because I already got green. Now it's only showing us people who got green are still chasing one-ways on yellow. And now once you have green and yellow... oh, no, sorry, still. And now we've just got a bunch of people trying to pick apart blue and purple. Okay, cool. Well, how'd you do? Hello, let's do the easy and medium pips for Saturday, November 29th. Let's play. Okay, so what 2 equals do we have? We have 2 2s. So yeah, we need the 6 2 here. The 2 1 has to go up. Then this uses the 3, and then this does not add to 6. So the 2 1 goes right, and this adds to 6. All right, 16 seconds. Nice. I think that's the only solution. Let's do the medium. Okay, 3 equals, less than 5, so 1 through 4. So this is a domino that has to be eventually get to 8. Let's see. So what do I have? What do I have? I've got a lot of blanks. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blank. That could technically be enough to fill both of the equals if we wanted to. I've got 3 2s, but one of them is connected to a blank. This corner needs a double. So it's either going to be the double 2 or the double blank. Let's just use up some blanks and see how that goes. So a blank here. And then I want this to go into an equal. So blank 6 would work. Oh, no, sorry. This comes across here. So this actually... No, so what I'm saying is that there's a domino here. I don't know what it is. There's a domino here. And so then these two have to be a double. Either the double blank or double 2. So this domino here, we don't know what it's going to be, but this blank just throws out its other digits. We don't need to place it yet. But that means that this is a domino, and then this is a domino involving our other doubled up. So the 2 probably. So what if I did 2? Oh, I can't do 2, 2 like this. So this doesn't use the double. So it can't actually use the 2, 2. So I think the 2, 2 needs to be down here. And then the 2 blank is thrown out. And then this comes in here, this comes in here. We'll deal with that in a second. So this less than 5. So we have to do a domino here. I'm just gonna stick the 4 in there because it's just less than 5, and that often is how that works out. And I can do the blank 6 here and the 6 4 here, but the remaining don't add to 8. So we're not doing that. Okay. So do I need this 4 for the 8? I kind of want 3 for the 8, but I can't do that. Okay, I have dominoes that add to 6, 5, 10, and completely blank. Completely blank can't go in there. 6 would require 2, which we used up all our 2s here. And I thought that was required. Maybe. I mean, I did say we have enough to have both equals to be blanks. So I may actually have to do that. Okay. Let's say we did that. Then blank 4 could go here. Blank 2 could go here, so I could do the blank 6 over here. Oh, no, I need all of my blanks for here now. We have blank 5, which would require a domino that is to 3. I think that would require the 2, 2 to go here. I'm a little bit worried about this. So this would be 4. Okay, so then the 4 blank just is this. And then this is the blank 2. Whoops. The meta of less than 5 being 4 I don't think works out here. We can do the blank 6. Oh, no. Yeah, the blank 6 down. The blank 5 up. And then the 6 4 in here. Okay. That was an interesting one, definitely. Really, I did point out at the start that we could technically put all the blanks into here, but I really thought we'd end up using the 2s in one of these, but that did not end up being the case. We needed to make the 8 over here. All right, cool. Well, how'd you do? Hello, let's do the hard pips for Saturday, November 29th. Let's play. Okay, where's our in? 17 is going to be 665. So what do we have 6 attached to? We have 6-1, 6-3. I don't think we have a 6 blank or 6-2, right? No, we don't. In fact, we only have the 3 6s. What do we have 5 attached to, though? So if this middle one is a 6, we have to do... Oh, greater than 3. Sorry, not less than 3. So 6, 4 would have to go here if we were using the 6. We used a 5. We actually only have 5 blank and 5 2. So this has to be the 6 4. Now this is a greater than 3, which we don't have now. We have 5 blank, 5 2, 6 3, and 6 1. So we're going up into here. So I'm thinking 6 1 because we have a double 1 that we can work with. We can also do 6 3 because we have a double 3 we can work with. So I'm not sure what goes there. This 6 is throwing out its other digit, or the 5. What do I have 4 of? We need 2 things we have 4 of. So do they both need a double digit? Probably, but maybe not. Maybe not this one. So we've got a lot of blanks. Blank is definitely, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blanks, and it has a double. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 ones, but one of them is attached to a blank. Well, that's possible. We have a double 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 3s. So 5 blank. What if I just did something along these lines? 4 blank here. And then the blank blank would go here. And this just throws out a greater than 2. So now I need a 6 or a 5. I need the 5 blank going up. So now this is a 6 and it just throws out its other digit, the 1 or the 3. I don't know which one, but I think we need a lot of 1s. So let's say it throws out the 3 for now, just to fill that out. So the 1 1 could go like this so that we can do... Well, we can't do the same... Okay, so here's the logic. We can't do the same domino across here and across here. So this actually has to use up the 3 3 just vertically, and this has to use up the 1 1 vertically. And now we've got 1 blank, which I doubt goes into greater than 9. 1 6 can definitely go into greater than 9. So then this can be 5 2, and then this can be 3 2, and I actually finished. Okay. Vibe did a little bit, but this felt like the way to go. The logic up here was interesting because we know we don't get repeated dominoes, so we had to have a double here and a double here because we can't do like a 1 3 across here and a 1 3 across here. That's not going to work. And then down here, let's see. Yeah, I think because it's surrounded, I think there was no way of getting around having to do it that way. There was the slight possibility of doing like a 1 3 across here and then the 1 1 down here. But then the 3 would have to come down into the 1 anyway, so we'd still need 2 1 3s. Cool. All right, well, that worked out. How'd you do? Hello, let's do the mini crossword for Saturday, November 29th. It's the biggin. Let's play. Hockey discs, pucks. Signature headwear from Mr. Monopoly, a top hat. CD establishment, probably something that grows things. Bioweapon at the center of a 2001 envelope scare. Oh, that was anthrax. Cleverly skillful. Sleeping enclosure for a pet dog. A kennel, a crate. Picks up the tab, pays. Play as a film character, portray. Ultimate consequences. I'm not sure. Sweetheart in French, chérie. How is that spelled? Is that an A here and then another E here? I here? I'm not sure. Let's hold off on that. 24 karat gold. River in which Achilles was dipped. The river Styx, except his heel. Frozen landscape, a tundra. Civil rights org co-founded by W.E.B. Du Bois. That's the AACP. And NAACP. Sorry. CD establishment. I wonder if there's something wrong. It sticks with a Y. Nursery. Yeah. I think that's nursery. I cannot spell for the life of me. Cleverly skillful. Adroit. Nursery is probably with an E because nurse is with an E. Okay. Sherry. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't fill these out because I don't know if I could have guessed those vowels. All right. Got there. How'd you do? Let's do strands. Today's theme is what a piece of work. Piece of work. Are we taking that literally then? Like, We've got whelp. No, we don't have whelp. We've got the wheel. Piece of work, a wheel. Simple something. Simple. Is this for spanogram or? We've got axle here. Wheel, axle. Oh, no. Simple. Maybe it goes down. Simple machines. Simple machine. This is how you spell axle. Okay. What's the other axle then? AXIL. Simple machine. Wheel. Axle. Screw. Lever. Pulley. Engine? No. This is 2 words. What's happening here? Is it E-N? Maybe it ends in N-E. Maybe it's A-N-E. Oh, plane? And a wedge. There we go. Okay. I was not reading correctly how those letters went together. All right. Not too bad today. How'd you do? Hello. Today's bonus game is Symbol, one of my favorite Wordle variants. I will take this opportunity to explain it for those who don't know how to play. So this is going to be a bit of a longer video just because it's actually not that easy to explain Symbol. But I always like to start with Blaze. We're going to do that so that we can seed this with something that I can explain. All right. So notice it has not colored our letters. It has instead put symbols, colored symbols to the right of our guess. Now, the official explanation of how this works, and the way you'd always need to lean on if you're confused about how things are working, is that it has a secret word in mind, just like Wordle does, that we're trying to guess. And what it's done here is it has pretended that blaze is the answer, and we guessed the secret. I'm going to always call it the secret. So there's a secret word, and then this is our guess. But it's going to pretend that our guess is the answer. So blaze is the answer, and then our secret was the guess in Wordle. And it would color it green, yellow, and gray over here, right? If we guessed, I don't know what the word is, but if we guessed it, then we would end up with greens, yellows, and grays according to these symbols. But in addition to that, the symbols are different every time and we have to figure them out. So the red plus could be green, the red plus could be yellow, or the red plus could be gray. Same with the blue cube here. And then there's going to be a third symbol we haven't found yet. That's the other one. It's going to be consistent for this game, but it's not consistent between games. So I'm going to assume that the red plus is gray and that this blue cube is our green, because I like to guess something with an L second. So if you think about it, if we guessed, let's think of something good with an L second. All new letters otherwise. I think that probably means a PL or a CL. Let's do PL. And we can't use A or E. So maybe something like PLI, PLO, PLU. With that B gone, I can't do plum, pluck. So if you think about it, if pluck was our secret, so if we guessed pluck and the answer was blaze, then we would get on top of pluck, we would get gray, green, gray, 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 which lines up with the theory that the red plus is gray and then the blue cube is green. Now, the way that I like to think about this instead is that the red plus means that none of the letters in our guess go in that slot. So in that first slot, third slot, fourth slot, fifth slot, we cannot put a B, L, A, Z, or E. And then the green means we need to pull it down. The green means that letter does go there. I'll go over yellow when we get one. So we're going to try pluck. So this does not align with our expectation, because if the L was actually second, we'd expect a blue cube again. So that means blue cube cannot be the green. And also, if we get all of a thing, we can just assume that that's gray. It's very unlikely that we get a pure anagram with pluck, right? So we've confirmed that the red plus is actually a gray, and then the blue is our yellow. So yellow, the way I like to think about that, is a different letter in Blaze besides the L is supposed to go in that spot. And I'll explain why when we think of a word for it. So we can put an A or an E second. Let's put an A second, and let's end in Y. I like doing that with an A second. So we're going to do, savvy came to mind, but I'd really not like to do that. T, R, and S or an N are the common letters left. Is there like an NTY or there's the hasty trap. So we could do like hasty. H is a good letter. So why does hasty work? Well, if you think about it, if the answer was Blaze and we guessed hasty, then the H, the S, the T, and the Y would be gray because none of those were in Blaze. But the A would be yellow because Blaze does have an A, just not in that spot. So that would line up with our blue cube being yellow. And if we guessed hasty with the answer being pluck, we'd get all grays. So I'm going to guess hasty. All right, so we have our new symbol, the orange infinity, and we know through process of elimination that that is indeed the green. And but we guessed wrong in what the yellow was going to be. So I'm going to say the E is second now, and we know we end in Y because that's our green. So we're an EY word. We need new letters otherwise. So what can we actually do here? R. I'm wondering if we should do an RRY or if there's something better. ERRY, like Mary. Let's actually give Mary a shot. Okay, so we guessed the E correctly because that's now the green symbol. But otherwise, we didn't get any new letters or info. So we're still just EY. N is still possible. Jenny? Like the donkey? Female donkey is a Jenny. I feel like there's better guesses. Could we be using another vowel or even like two E's? So when you think about yellows, it's important to think about placement of the slot. We are allowed to have more than one E, but it would never be first. Because if the E was first, then our blue cube would have preferred that first slot, if you want to think about it that way. But we could technically do double E with an E here or with an E here, because it would include the leftmost E. Weenie. I don't really know if I want to guess that. Is there any way to get 3 new letters? It's really my question. Maybe EDGY? Edgy? Wedgie? I don't think wedgie is a word, is it? You know what? If it is, I'm willing to guess it. Okay. Ooh, okay. So we are WE, and we end in Y, because those are our greens. And this blue cube means that I was supposed to put a D here, so I think it is actually Weedy. I think it is double E. All right, cool. So now that we know our answer, we can go through and see why Weedy was correctly colored throughout this. So if we guessed Weedy and the answer was Blaze, you'll notice that the first E in Weedy would be yellow. If the answer was Blaze, the first E would be yellow and the second E would be gray, and everything else would be gray. With Pluck, nothing matches, so Weedy would be all gray. With Hasty, nothing matches except the Y at the end would be green. With Mary, and we guess Weedy, the E and the Y would be green. And then with Wedgie, if Wedgie was our answer and we guess Weedy, then we get green, green, and then the D would be yellow. The second E would be gray, the D would be yellow, and our Y would be green. And you can see that our symbols match that once we figured out what those symbols mean. And Weedy was the answer, so we get all greens. Cool. Well, I hope that was helpful for those trying to learn symbol. You really get used to it pretty quickly, especially if you think about it the way that I like to think about it. And It's really a very fun variant to play every day. You can definitely play the unlimited mode and just practice for a while as well. And it really starts to feel pretty natural. And I really like the way it makes you think and kind of discover things. All right, cool. How'd you do? All right, let's spin our bonus game wheel and see what we're playing tomorrow. Looks like it's going to be Mortar Shell's suggestion of Fibble, another one of my favorites. So if you would like to follow along, you can find the link to Fibble in the description. And that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to watch the Wordle solve, you can click at the end of the video. It'll take you right there. I also have a pinned comment with all the games I played today. And if you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.